So as I just reported in a video I made about an hour ago, the psychopath, sex offender, and cybercriminal who Greenville apparently is using as their fixer, a very disturbed and psychotic sex offender named Jasmine Irizarry, has been engaging in a lot of aggressive, disruptive, attention-seeking behavior from behind that wall, or the area behind that wall, not just throughout the last 6 or 7 hours starting this morning, but throughout the entire day yesterday as well. I've left about 4 voicemails for the Greenville group and sent 2 emails to them and their attorneys regarding disruptions coming from Irizarry, who keeps accessing what Greenville tells me are the vacant premises of Unit 78, where Greenville housed Irizarry officially between 2013 and 2022. And in 2022, according to Mr. Aliseyev, the property manager, they moved Irizarry out of the unit behind this wall, but continue to house her in this building. And apparently they have either moved her back into Unit 78, which I don't think is the case, because when I tell them that somebody's in there, they say they'll send maintenance, or she continues to illegally access the premises of her former unit that is now vacant and empty, according to the Greenville group. And she does so for the sole purpose of aggressive harassment, stalking, and intrusion based on the surveillance devices that I've been told by dozens of people over the last 8 years are being used by the Greenville group in and around my living space and my bathroom. So as I just reported, there were pretty significant disruptions of the usability and safety of the water to this tap and to my bathroom throughout the afternoon yesterday, and again today. There's no water practically coming out of my shower head, so I can't use that shower for showering. The water that comes out of that shower head in my bathroom is so thin that my hand, which is not very big, I have to move my hand under it to get the entire hand wet. That's how little water is coming out of that shower. I made a video earlier today about how the water that comes out of the shower head of the bathroom just down the hall is so strong that literally it blasts your entire arm as soon as you stick your hand under it. I also keep having to leave this door open, in spite of the fact that there's a very disturbed and aggressive creep living next door in Unit 88, a psycho creep named Kevin, who makes dozens and dozens and dozens of unsolicited and unresponded to comments on my YouTube videos, basically making all kinds of crazy assertions and defamation about me, which he knows nothing about. He doesn't know me. I've never said a word to this piece of shit, and he continues to make all kinds of psycho comments about me, even though he has absolutely no factual data about who I am, my career, my friends, where I go, where I grew up, anything. But that doesn't stop this nut job from not just making defamatory comments all over my YouTube videos, but screaming things at me through the door as I proceed to walk down the hall to the common bathroom and back again. I actually have a recording of that from earlier this afternoon. This psycho creep never leaves his unit. I wonder how he pays his rent. He basically spends his entire wasted life watching porn and horror movies where women are getting literally slashed to death by serial killers. Halloween seems to be one of his favorites. So how this psycho creep pays his rent, and Greenville refuses to do anything about his behavior, but then they think that I am the problem, even though I paid my rent entirely out of pocket for the first, 11 years that I lived in this building. I paid my rent entirely out of pocket all the way up through the pandemic in 2021. Never got a penny of assistance from any rental funding agency or government group or anything. My rent was paid entirely out of my pocket and my earnings for 11 years. And yet Greenville is somehow making me out to be a bad guy because there's so much psychotic disruption and malfunctions in this unit that they have systematically and deliberately refused to address, that instead of admitting the fact that they have completely been negligent in this unit and that the city of Boston has had multiple lawsuits against them for code violations in this unit over the last few years, they simply decided to try to take me to court. But you know what? Ultimately, the truth comes out sooner or later, and the truth of the Greenville group's chronic and criminal negligence, which has already come out because the city of Boston has had 3 lawsuits against them in the last 3 years for their negligence in this unit. Well, that's going to come out eventually. But the reason I'm making this video right now is that the Greenville group, who hired a psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry to be their fixer, apparently, back in 2013, has been causing a lot of problems from behind this wall. And right now she's smoking and aggressively propagating sickening and intense cigar and marijuana smoke that I've been reporting to the Greenville group in multiple emails and voicemails over the last few days that continue to prevent me from being able to be in this unit without having to keep the window wide open and the door to the hallway wide open as well. They keep saying they're going to send maintenance up here. Maintenance hasn't come up here. And the water to my taps stinks or is oily and greasy or then barely comes out when I need to use it. Irizarry in 2019, as I keep reporting, engaged in about 2 hours worth of extensive plumbing work. It was like 2.5, 3 hours. I mean, it was a whole afternoon. It sounded like they were putting in an entire drain system against the pipes behind the sink. And after that, the water started to stink and smell really foul and also to make me very sick whenever I would try to drink it. And when I contacted the Greenville group about that a couple weeks later, they said they had no knowledge of any work being done in Unit 78 and that they don't work on Sundays. So now as I'm reporting this, the psycho thug creep pervert in Unit 78 behind this wall is deliberately getting intrusive behind this wall. And there's just massive amounts of marijuana smoke right now. I'm actually wearing a mask because it prevents me from having to breathe in intense amounts of marijuana and cigar smoke that are hazardous and toxic if you're not a smoker. They're hazardous and toxic even if you are a smoker, but I shouldn't have to breathe that in just because Greenville continues to permit a psycho thug like Jasmine Irizarry to access the vacant premises of the unit located behind this wall, which they keep telling me is vacant and empty. Why would Greenville keep a unit with its own bathroom deliberately vacant and empty for months and months at a time, but then permit the former resident, a psychopath who appears to be getting paid to be a psychopath? They keep permitting her to access the premises, and then she engages in all kinds of harmful behavior against this wall. As I just reported, she has once again resumed her use of some type of directed energy weapon. After not using that directed energy weapon for 10 days, she has once again resumed using it on my person, starting at around 10 this morning when I quietly went into that bathroom right there to try to use the facilities. That's when she started electronically assaulting me using some type of device that concentrates electromagnetic output, just like a cell phone. And she was using it to electronically zap me while I was sitting on the toilet. She also resumed using it about 30 minutes ago while I was cleaning and organizing the space here, going in and out of the hallway, shaking out sheets and towels because there is a rodent infestation in this unit and the mice generate a lot of dust and shreddings all over the place, which I have no control over. So I keep having to just shake out my sheets and towels in the front stairwell. I'm not dropping trash out there. It's just maybe a little bit of dust and mouse droppings because Greenville refuses to address the fact that there has been an ongoing rodent infestation in this unit since December of 2023, which was the last time that they sent exterminators into this unit. So they're negligent in that respect as well. But right now I have to call them to tell them that if Irizarry, their paid fixer and psychopath, continues to use her directed energy weapon on me, I will be taking everyone to court on Monday and filing a restraining order against the Greenville group and against Irizarry herself, but specifically against the Greenville group because they are her handlers. They are her employers. They are the ones who are permitting this to continuously happen, in spite of the fact that I continue to report it and that it is not outside of the realm of what is physically possible. You can easily quantify EMF output by purchasing an EMF meter.
Press 2. If you're interested in selling a property, press 3. For the office directory, press 4 or press 0 for the front desk. After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when we return.
Hi there. It's right around 4:25 p.m. on Friday, June 21st, 2024. I'm calling for like a third time today from Unit 89 to report that your